Kidville. Welcome back to all my fellow runners. If you missed last week, you might be wondering why all this running. Why am I listening to music? Well, I was actually getting pumped up with my workout playlist because it gets me energized and on like a quick tempo, and it's also really fun to listen to. So the reason that we are talking about running is because we are committed to training, running a 5K. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm doing, making a plan and putting it into practice. So if you want to make it on a long run, then you gotta have some endurance. You've got to have a lot of commitment because the training, it's not easy. Believe me, I would know. I am on week 8 of my plan for my Couch to 5K, and you know, this past weekend I almost didn't make it, but I was committed, so I stuck to it. And you know what? The training pays off. When you have a plan, you stick to it, you're committed, it does pay off. So, you know, there's the training, and then there's also those things that you can't prepare for, like you might not even think about. Like, what happens if your shoelace comes untied and then you like need to stop and pick it up, and everyone behind you is gonna like trip over you? Or like with music, with headphones, I know a problem I run into is you can't really hear the cars if you've got your headphones on. So sometimes I get a little distracted when I'm listening to my music, and I have been told to, you know, either run without them or only use one. There's been a few close calls, just you get in the zone and you can't even hear. So that's something to think about as well. And so we're doing all these things. We're trying to figure out how to train for this race and to make a commitment. Well, there's really only one thing left to do. If you missed last week, or if you did last week and you're like, oh no, that was it, right? We did those exercises, now we're not gonna do any more. That wouldn't get us very far, right? No, it's time to do some more exercises. Listen, it's just 4 things, 30 seconds each. So we're gonna do a little bit of training, the next phase of our training plan, for just 2 minutes. All right, you up for it? Everyone get on your feet, and we're going to do some exercises to train for our 5K. All right, what we have today is we have some high knees. We're gonna do them a little quicker this time. We're gonna do some leg lifts to get our hips stretched out. We're gonna do some squat jumps and some side lunges. All right, don't be tired. We gotta train, we gotta stick to the plan and get in shape for the race. So everyone on your feet, we are gonna start. All right, high knees. We're gonna get our blood flowing and get them going here. Do it a little quicker maybe than last time. You know, your knees, they work a lot. They work hard on the run, and you really gotta get them stretched out. All right, so we're gonna get our heart rate up pretty quick today, let me tell you. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, next one is we're gonna do some side leg lifts, all right? So you're just gonna lift up to the side. It's actually really fun. You should try this one. A little bit lower impact, but let me tell you, what you should do is when you do your exercises and you do your runs, go with someone else and try to talk, because like you're trying to talk and you're gonna make your cardio and your lung capacity even more. You're gonna see that if I'm talking the whole time, I'm definitely gonna get out of breath. And you gotta practice and get that cardio built up. All right, we're gonna do some squat jumps, just like you're gonna shoot a basketball. We're gonna squat, we're gonna jump up. All right, touch the ground if you can. Oh yeah, guys, we're gonna get burning on this one. Some of you maybe do this for sports, for training. I know my kids do their sports training and they're doing all of this kind of stuff. Look how fast this one goes by. This one's fun. Okay. All right, that was our squat jumps. Now the final one is we're gonna do the side again. We're gonna do some side lunges. All right, so we're gonna go over the side, bend your knee. Really gotta stretch out so that you don't get injured when you're doing your runs. So did you go out for a run this week? Or do some training, some exercising? Hopefully you're starting to see that training pay off. We're gonna get really stretched, see how far you can go. Okay, that was it. That was our 2 minutes. I can hear my breath. I can hear my heart rate. That's good. That's what we want. I think I hear some worship music coming on. We got our blood flowing. We're going to worship. We're going to hear a story that Jesus told about listening.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 24 through 29.
After Jesus was baptized and spent time alone in the wilderness, He returned to Galilee. There, He began teaching and gathering His disciples. Great crowds began to follow Jesus everywhere He went. So one day, He climbed up a mountainside and sat down to teach His closest friends. Many others showed up to listen.
You are the light of the world.
This is quite the sermon on the mount.
Jesus shared all kinds of wisdom about the way God wants us to live. He finished with a vivid word picture.
So then, everyone who hears my words and puts them into practice is like a wise man.
If Jesus gave us this example today, it might sound something like this. There were once two men who got an excellent deal on fabulous beachfront lots. One wise.
What of you?
And one, well, foolish.
Oh, now I can swim with the sharks before breakfast.
They both drew up plans for their dream home, but the wise man surveyed his property carefully.
Better build back from the beach a little. Looks like we've got solid rock up here for the foundation.
The foolish man had other ideas.
I want one of those amazing beach cottages where the fish swim right up to your door.
When both men got to work, the wise man met with the builder for his new home.
I'd suggest steel beams.
Can you bolt them directly into the rock?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Let's go.
The foolish man, once again, had other ideas.
I like to think of my home as a work of art. Build it only out of things you find on the beach. Driftwood, shells, dried seaweed.
You want me to build you a house out of seaweed?
You can braid it or something.
I'd suggest something more durable for the foundation, like a rock.
Don't be so stuffy. We're creating art.
Well, okay.
At last, the two homes were complete. The wise man moved into his home high up on the rock.
Good book, fresh lemonade, salty sea breezes. I'm all set.
The foolish man moved into his house right on the beach.
Seaweed thatching, exquisite driftwood posts, shell columns. I am a true artiste.
Within a short time, dark clouds began to form on the horizon.
Looks like I better pull down the storm windows.
Oh, goody. I can enjoy the gentle rain on my driftwood porch while communing with the fish at my doorstep.
The winds began to pick up. Raindrops spattered against the shore. High on the rock, gale force winds battered the wise man's home, but it stood strong and sturdy. On the beach, though, waters began to rise.
Yippee! I get to have one of those tropical huts with the water underneath. Yeah!
The winds and waves beat against the foolish man's house.
Where did I put my magic rainbow umbrella? I'm just gonna get out of here.
The waves sucked away the sand beneath the house, and the wind whipped against the tipsy driftwood frame, and the entire structure collapsed. The foolish man stood drenched on the beach, staring at the remains of this house.
Oopsie.
On the mountainside, Jesus explained exactly what it all meant.
So then, everyone who hears my words and puts them into practice is like a wise man. He builds his house on the rock. The rain comes down, the water rises, the winds blow and beat against that house, but it does not fall. But everyone who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man. He builds his house on sand. The rain comes down, the water rises, the winds blow and beat against that house, and it falls with a loud crash.
The crowd listening to Jesus stared in amazement.
He teaches with authority, like he's really in charge.
Yeah, nothing like the other teachers.
Jesus had spent the entire day explaining the way God wants us to live. His closing word picture made it clear. Anyone who puts the teaching of Jesus into practice builds their life on a foundation that will always stay solid, no matter what storms may come.
Awesome story. In some ways, we actually have it easier than ever to access the Bible and hear what God says. We can, look up our actual Bible, read the pages. We can go on our Bible app. We can even look at the Bible on a tablet or a computer, and we can hear God's words, right? He has written those down for us. They've lasted for thousands of years, and we get to read them. That is one super important way to hear from God. So our bottom line today is to practice hearing from God. So whether it's reading Bible chapters or passages, our memory verses, or maybe it's a devotion book that helps us to understand something in a different way that we didn't know before. We're talking to people in our life that know God and can teach us. Maybe you hear from God through worship music or through going out in nature. There's all different ways that we can hear from God and we can get to know His voice. Maybe it's just something in our heart that He's speaking to us and leading us to do the right thing or reminding us of some of his words. So hearing from God is a really important way to know him and to put our training plan into practice. So we had our 4 things that are going to be so important this whole month. This is the first one, hear. We're going to hear from God. And we have to make a plan to do that and to put it into practice. If we never open our Bible, if we never come to church, if we never stop and say, hey God, what are you saying to me? Then we're not going to get very good at it, right? We have to practice that over and over, and God will help us to understand more and to put that into practice. So let's get after it. We're going to train hard. We're going to get to know God. Doing more exercises like what we just did is great, but remember what our memory verse says. 1 Timothy 4:8. Training the body has some value, but being godly has value in every way. It promises help for the life you are now living and the life to come. So all of our exercise and training our bodies is important, but even more important is training our muscles that help us to know God more. All right, well, I am off to fulfill my commitments. I don't know about you. Hopefully you can get back into it. Maybe you can go make your own playlist for your workouts, for your runs. It makes a difference. All right, let's go.